Hello, welcome back. So, in continuation of where we stopped in the last video, we mentioned that we have a grading system that specify the grade that is assigned to the student based on the score that is such student has, right? So we know that any student that is scoring um, an average score of 90 or greater than 90, we want to assign a grade class of of A to such student. And any student that is scoring an average score of 80 and above, we want to grade such student to B on class B. And of course, for student that is scoring 17 and above, we want to assign C for such student. And students that are scoring below 70 and between the bandwidth of 70 and 60, we want to assign a grade of D for such student. And of course, for any student that's scoring less than 60, we want to make sure that that student has F, which is failed. Okay, so in the last video, we had this function written where we had to use if function, and here this typically specify what we have in here. All right, so where student is scoring above 90 and above, 90 and above, we want to assign A, 80 above, we want to assign B, 70 above, C, 60 above, D. And of course, one thing to note is that this is more like the highest ceiling of scores, right? So 90 above. So 19 is inclusive. Then above, we are assigning a grade of A. Now, when we say 80 above for the next logical expression, when we say 80 above, this expression is already aware that there is a higher bandwidth of 90, right? And that category where students score 90 and above, we are assigning A. So this second one that is saying 80 and above, I mean, knows the limit where it should stop. That is between 80 and the 90, right? This is between 80 and the 90. So any student that is scoring 80 and 89 point something, so that student will be assigned the grade of B. And any student that is scoring 70 between 70 and 79.999, such student will be assigned C. And any student that is scoring 60 between 60 and 69.999, such student will be assigned a grade of D. And of course, any student that is scoring between 50 and 60, right? Between 50 and 59.999, such student will be assigned a grade of F. Now, one interesting thing is that when we press an enter here and double click to come down here, so double clicking on the dots to your right, to the bottom right, make sure that the first function that I've written evaluates all the way down to the last record. Okay, now you can easily look at what the function we have written and fault um, the fact that we have NA here, right? We have NA for two records. For the records where we have NA, we can see that we have the average score to be 49.666, and here also 49.66. Now, one thing to note here is that our function here says for the last category, says when the average score is greater than 50, that is between 50 and 60, then such student is scoring F. Now, this function here has not addressed what if a student is scoring um, less than 50. So what if a student is scoring less than 50? All right, how do we make sure that this is being catered for? Okay, so what we can do is we rather want to say or when G2 is less than 50, then we want to also return F, right? We want to also return F, and I can press this. Oh, sorry. Oh, I thought I modified. Okay, let me just modify it here. I guess probably is the second record I modified. Okay, so let me modify the first one again. So we want to say where G2 is less than 50, and of course we still want to return F. right? There are two ways to write this. Okay, so I've done this. So it's to double click to replicate them all the way down. All right, so you can see that it has taken care of 49.66 to be F, and of course what we have here to be F. Another way to write this is, another way to write this is if I take this out and I just the last category I just put in or, right, or, and I say comma, right, G2 is less than 50. So what this simply means is that if G2, I mean, if the average score of the student is greater than or equals to 50, that is between 50 and 59.999, or the student is scoring, the student scores less than 50, which is 50 below, then you want to assign the class of F for such student. All right, so either of these works, right? That is how you get that catered or evaluated. All right, so quickly, I want us to look at this second sheet where we look at how we have a list of products, right? We have a list of products on this sheet, and we have a possible group that the product belongs to. We have a list of product, and of course, we have a possible group that the product belongs to. All right, so the task ahead is what if I copy this and replicate this multiple times? Okay, so because in real life, the record that you will be dealing with, it's going to evaluate to thousands or hundreds. As the case may be. All right, so we have some product here, and these are the possible product grouping that each of these products can fall under. Now, you've been asked to, I mean, based on this information that you have been asked to group the product into their respective category. So how do we do that? So we're going to be using ifs to achieve this. All right. So we're going to say if our product, when we select A2, that means we're picking the value in A2. All right, so this, so we're going to say or. So we're going to say if the value here is equals to table, right? Then comma is either it's table or we want to address the furniture group now. It's either it's table or chair, or A2 is equals to chair, right? Or A2 is equals to chair. Then I'm going to close the bracket and I'm going to say if that is the case, I want to return furniture. I want to return furniture category. All right, so I'm going to put in a comma here. So the next is the logical test 2. Logical test 2, I'm going to put an or. So I've addressed the furniture category. And I'm going to say if A2 is equals to television, right? And I'm going to put in a comma as part of my logical or. I'm going to say if A2 equals to, what else again? Television, laptop. I'm going to put a comma. A2 equals to phone, right? What else again? Um, comma. And A2 equals to uh, AC. Um, well, AC. So television, laptop, phone, AC falls under, close the bracket. Um, so the value, if it is true, electronics, right? I'm gonna put this under the electronics category. Okay. Now I have the automobile and the game category. So for automobile, I think we only have one product for automobile, and that product is car. So we're gonna say if A2 equals to if A2 equals to car, right? I want to return automobile, automobile, right? Um, then after car, so we have, oh, did I put headset? Oops, I missed the headset. Okay, that's fine. I can easily add that later. I want to say if A2. Okay, so the other category is the football and basketball, which falls under game. So I'm going to say or, right? A2 is equals to football. Close this. A2 equals to basketball. Okay, I'm gonna close. Okay, so close the logical or. Then what do I want to return? I want to return game or sports. Okay, returning game. Then I close the big of the bracket. All right, so I haven't gotten the first record. I can double click on this. Okay, so everything actually fits well into their respective category. Remember, I mentioned that I miss out headset. I miss out headset while I was specifying for the first formula. All right, so I'm going to is quickly update this category. Electronics headset falls under electronics. I'm going to say A2 equals to headset, right? Headset. And if that is the case, okay, that's all. And I'm going to close this. Going to close this. So click all the way down. So if we put in a filter here, we can see all the categories are correctly represented, right? All the categories are correctly represented. Table, furniture, television, electronics, as we can see here. So this is another way of using ifs where we have um, you want to class or you want to categorize your item or you want to perform calculations. All right, so interestingly, we've been talking about function. Um, we've been talking about logical functions and or ifs. So in the next section of the class, we're going to be talking about some other interesting function that you will find very interesting in terms of knowing an application. Until then, see you. Bye.